On the news, state of rail transport in Nigeria attracts Senate attention, resolves to investigate the Nigeria Railway Corporation. 2026 appropriation bill scales second reading in House of Representatives. Plus, House of Representatives ad hoc committee on power sector reforms expresses doubt over the capacity of distribution companies. Hello and welcome to the news on NTA Parliament, reaching you from Abuja. I am Stella Inameti. The state of rail transport services in Nigeria has attracted the attention of the Senate, leading to a resolution to immediately conduct a holistic investigation into the Nigeria Railway Corporation. This move followed a matter of personal explanation by Senator Abdul Ningi, who shared his experience on operational inefficiencies, safety concerns, and the poor state of railway infrastructure, particularly along the Abuja-Kaduna rail corridor. It disclosed that a journey of about 1.5 hours from Abuja to Kaduna now takes over 3 hours. The President of the Senate has mandated an ad hoc committee to immediately commence the investigation.
To look into this railway system, look at the red tracks, look at the coaches and everything, and why they were failing. And why it would take, like he said, 3.5 hours for something that should take 25 minutes to Kaduna by the modern railway standard. But this one takes 3.5 hours, which means that if you are using a bicycle, you'll get to Kaduna before the train. If you're a Kataman or Keke Napep will move faster, Keke Napep will get to Kaduna, Keke Napep will get to Kaduna and even return to Abuja before the train gets there. It's a very sad commentary.
The 2026 appropriation bill of 58.47 trillion naira has scaled second reading in the House of Representatives. This followed a lead debate on the budget proposals by House Majority Leader Julius Ihumbere, which was unanimously adopted without dissension. The Majority Leader urged other lawmakers to support the passage of the budget, which prioritizes defense and security and infrastructural development.
Distinguished colleagues, this is a budget, it's a promise, it's expectations, it's a dream of the government. And I believe that this administration is committed to ensuring that if we all work together, put ideas together, recommit to a better Nigeria, we build a kind of socio-political, economic, cultural environment that will encourage Nigerians in their respective constituencies and communities to reach the highest points of their creative and productive abilities.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen reports that Thursday's plenary began with a valedictory session in honor of the outgoing clerk of the House, Yahaya Danzaria, with Speaker Abbas Tajuddin commending Danzaria's career of devoted service to the stability, integrity, and continuity of Nigeria's parliament and democracy in general.
Among his most important institutional contributions was his role in supporting the formulation and implementation of the legislative agenda of the 10th House of Representatives. Dr. Danzaria also played a key role in revising the standing orders of the House.
The House of Representatives ad hoc committee on power sector reforms has expressed doubt over the capacity of electricity distribution companies and the current state of power plants to drive the needed reforms in the sector. Stating its position during continued oversight visits, the committee suggested a review of the power privatization policy to achieve optimum results. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
This is Ogorede Power Plant Sapele in Delta State with the installed capacity of 450 megawatts with 4 turbines in place. As at now, only 1 turbine unit is working, providing 112 megawatts per hour due to shortage of gas supply, a situation the committee says is unbearable. A visit to Transcorp power plant at Ugeli, which was privatized in 2013, shows that it produces 740 megawatts with limited evacuation capacity and grid instability as a result of infrastructure deficits and vandalism of transmission lines.
Well, we are not so happy. You know, there's a mixed reaction. I say I'm not going to preempt our finding, but you see, I'm giving plus. Wherever we have seen plus, you know, at the Sapele NIPP, we are so happy. It's a government under the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. They were limited. What limits them is what we are working to find out and address.
The grid collapse is a perennial issue, but you know, all the stakeholders, we're all working together around improvements, around compliance with the grid code and a number of other things. But we've been able to demonstrate to the committee we are fully compliant and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that our operation is sustainable and that it supports, you know, the aspirations of the federal government.
The committee engages the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, where issues of shortchange to consumers, overbilling, and free meter installation were discussed.
Your agency, BEDC, has a lot of issues with respect of procurement. What are the dates of purchase and dates of manufacturing, history of each transformers from the previous owners that you purchased, where applicable, and tell us why BCD may not have purchased brand new transformers.
Section 43, before Section 47(1) of Customer Protection Regulation 2023 of NEC, this is it. It talked about sensitization of consumers. How many consumers have you sensitized to even understand their rights?
In BDC, there are bad eggs among us. I can tell you every month we have dismissal, even when union come protesting, provided that we have reasons for dismissing such persons, especially non-tolerance for such extortions and issues like that you have mentioned here.
While in Edo State, the committee visited Deputy Governor Dennis Idahosa, who was a former member of the House of Representatives. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Defections in Nigeria's parliament have become a recurring feature of the country's political landscape, often reshaping alliances and altering the balance of power in the legislature. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen examines the wave of defections and their implications for legislative stability.
The significance of numbers in parliament cannot be overstated. The numbers of lawmakers determine which party holds the majority and the party or parties that make up the minority. Numerical advantage influences the passage of bills, approval of budgets and other critical legislations, as well as effective oversight of the executive. It also shapes leadership positions and effective governance in parliament. Since the second and ongoing third sessions of the 10th National Assembly, there has been significant number of defections in the Senate and House of Representatives, with many opposition lawmakers joining the governing All Progressives Congress, taking a toll on the numbers of the minority caucus. The APC started the 10th Assembly with 58 of the 109 seats in the Senate and 175 of the 360 seats in the House of Representatives. With the mass defections, the People's Democratic Party and other opposition parties have so far collectively lost more than 20 seats in the Senate and 68 seats in the House of Representatives to the majority caucus.
Let me tell you, when we are at that plenary, we don't know who is in APC or who is in Party A or Party B. We all work like Nigerians. I think it won't have any effect on the lawmaking.
Though lawmakers appear not to be bothered about the gale of defections, many believe the trend of defections is likely to continue to shape the country's political landscape. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Joining us to provide further insight into the wave of defections in Parliament is Representative Francis Waive, Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business. He represents Uheli North, Uheli South, Udu Federal Constituency of Delta State in the House of Representatives. You're welcome, sir.
My pleasure having me once again.
What is your take on this wave of defections in the 10th Assembly, and how is legislative business faring in their week?
The House is almost entirely an APC House. But the beauty here is that when we come together as a parliament, we do not sit even as to party lines. Our sitting arrangement is mixed up. It's just that the leadership of the majority and the minority have their designated sitting positions separate and different. But for the entire membership, it's a mixed sitting. And the same thing, our approach to national issues. It is always national interest. That's what we approach. We don't approach issues based on from partisan perspectives. But those who have defected are doing so for political expediency. You don't want to run on the platform of a party, and after doing all it takes to win an election is one of the most difficult things any human being can get involved in anywhere in the world, and not talk about in Nigeria. So after you've done all that and you have won, only for the court to declare your platform as being problematic and you lose your victory is very painful. So many people don't want to go through that trauma. It's a lifetime trauma. So many people don't want to go through that. So that's why you see the defection, as far as I can think.
Would you say these defections are having implications for legislative business?
The impact on the business of the day, not much. It's still the same people, the same mindset, the same approach to national issues. I don't see it being creating any problem on the floor for activity in plenary or in committees, or the leadership and all of that. I don't see any problems arising from it. I expect that people will continue to use their independent minds to look at what is good for Nigeria.
Thank you for your time, Representative Francis Waive.
Thank you very much.
You're watching the news on NTA Parliament. We will be back shortly with more reports from across the states.
Every week, a voice stands out, a leader inspires, and a lawmaker makes the difference. From the chamber of debates to the heart of the communities, we celebrate men and women shaping our democracy. Who is making impact? Who is driving change? Who is standing tall for the people? Join us as we spotlight excellence, celebrate service, and honor leadership. Legislator of the Week, where democracy meets inspiration. Stay tuned for Legislator of the Week, showing only on NTA Parliament. Don't miss Legislator of the Week, your window into impactful leadership.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. The Ogun State House of Assembly was established in 1979 following the creation of Ogun State by the then military government in 1976. Since its inception, the legislature has remained a vital arm of government, charged with lawmaking, representation, and oversight functions in line with democratic principles. In this report, Assembly correspondent Yemi Dalemo examines the effectiveness of the House over 5 decades.
Ogun State was created on the 3rd of February 1976 by the then military government of General Murtala Muhammad as part of the nationwide state creation exercise aimed at bringing governance closer to the people. Ogun State House of Assembly has remained a vital arm of government saddled with the responsibility of lawmaking, representation, and oversight functions. The legislature began with appointed members under the military administration before transitioning to an elected house with the return to civilian rule in 1979.
Ogun State House of Assembly in 79 to 83 was the best legislative body you can talk about. I was part of it, and we did a hell of a job. When I entered Ogun State legislature as a member for Yewode, I was Mr. Bankole Pilajokua. I had a bachelor's degree and I had a master's degree. Even though I started working on my PhD.
Over the years, successive assemblies have enacted laws and passed resolutions aimed at strengthening governance, promoting development, and safeguarding the interests of people of the states. Despite periods of interruption during military regimes, Ogun State House of Assembly has continued to evolve, playing a strategic role in deepening democracy and supporting policies that drive socio-economic growth across the states.
Without the House, I don't think we can have all these achievements, because the House will have to appropriate for the state. We'll have to apportion money, appropriate money, oversight them. And if we have not been doing that effectively, you would have seen it in the development of the state. We have not fared but in contributing and playing our role in the development of Ogun State.
We agree with me that where we are today is not where we started 15 years ago. And we have our forefathers to thank for laying that solid foundation. First of all, in terms of the number of constituencies, we have increased. In terms of robust legislative activities, we have grown from strength to strength.
The state legislature, I think we stand out as one of the best in this country. The only challenge we have is, from my own experience, as the longest serving member of this house, I have the privilege, by the grace of God, of being the longest serving as of today. For Ogun State to function, House of Assembly to function maximally, we still need a new complex for the state that will feature so many things that a House of Assembly is supposed to have. Our library to be upgraded, our printing press to be standard, so many committee hearing room with modern electronics that cannot work in this whole building.
Today, the Ogun State House of Assembly remains a symbol of democratic resilience, guided by experienced leadership and a commitment to the rule of law. As the state continues its developmental journey, the legislature stands positioned to sustain its role as the voice of the people and a pillar of democracy in the Gateway State. In Abuja, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
To ensure effective healthcare delivery, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has called for strict enforcement of compliance with the provisions of the Akwa Ibom State Health Insurance Agency Law 2021. This followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by the member representing Ibiono Ibom State Constituency, Moses Essien. Nsika Kokon reports.
Mr. Essien, who is also Chairman House Committee on Health, expresses concern over widespread refusal of many contractors, corporate bodies and employers to comply with the law mandating them to enroll their employees in the state health insurance scheme. According to him, the State Health Insurance Agency Law 2021 is empowered to guarantee equitable access to quality and affordable healthcare services for all residents of the state and to reduce out-of-pocket health expenditure.
Continued non-compliance with health insurance law will weaken healthcare financing, deny citizens access to quality healthcare, and frustrate the state's drive towards universal health coverage under the Rights Care Program of His Excellency Pastor Moino. It is hereby moved that this Honorable House pass a resolution urging the Akwa Ibom State Health Insurance Agency to immediately intensify enforcement of all mandatory contribution and enrollment provisions of the Health Insurance Agency Law 2021.
The motion was widely supported by members who described it as timely and necessary to ensure accountability in the private sector's role in the state health delivery.
The law is the law. Transgression of the law attracts punishment, no matter how high or how low. If the law has prescribed that
every contract in this state exceeding 50 million must pay 1% to health insurance agency. Mr. Speaker, they have to pay.
If this is enforced, we would have the entire Akwa people, not only the vulnerable, everybody in Akwa State will benefit from this law and this motion. Mr. Speaker, if there is anything we can do for our people is to get them registered in this health insurance scheme. The Committee on Health should go on oversight to ensure compliance.
Yes, we want to strengthen the health insurance scheme, but we must do so within the ambit of the law. And also, there needs to be greater efforts and intensified efforts in orientating people and letting people know that such a law exists. Even the beneficiaries, there are a lot of people, even up till today, a lot of people do not know that the state is running such a scheme.
The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udo Motong, directed the Clerk of the House to formally remind the state government of the necessity to enforce the State Health Insurance Agency law for the benefit of the populace. Nsika Okon, NTA News.
The Ebonyi State House of Assembly has confirmed 2 nominees of the state governor, Francis Nwifuru, for membership of the Ebonyi State Civil Service Commission. House of Assembly correspondent Samuel Okbo reports that one of the nominees, Pastor Vincent Awoke, is a former member of the House.
The screening was the first business of the House for the year 2026 after a recess to enable them celebrate Christmas and New Year festivities. In a plenary before the screening, the Speaker, Chief Moses Ijo Odunwa, informed members of a letter from the State Governor Francis Nwifuru requesting for screening and confirmation of 2 nominees as members of the State Civil Service Commission.
We have a letter for us by His Excellency the Governor of the State. This is the forwarding of names for screening and confirmation. I write formally forward for the consideration, screening and confirmation of the State Assembly. You are the listed names of presidents and proposed to appoint into various statutory boards and commissions in the state. Include 1, this is Lucy, member, Civil Service Commission. 2, Honorable Vincent Awoke, member, Civil Service Commission.
The House quickly dissolved to a committee of the whole to enable them screen the nominees following a motion by the House leader Kingsley Ikoro and seconded by Aloysius Nwodo, representing Ebonyi Northwest State constituency. The nominees, Pastor Vincent Awoke and Mrs. Lucy Ofefe, were asked to introduce themselves and take a bow and go following a motion moved by the House leader Kingsley Ikoro and seconded by the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Chinedu Ona. Announcing progress after the committee of the whole, the Speaker, Chief Moses Ije Odunwa, put the motion for the confirmation of the nominees into vote and the House unanimously voted in favor of the confirmation.
Those who are given permission and some grant that our revered senior parliamentarian and a parliamentary wife be allowed to take a bow and leave. Say aye. Those against the ayes.
I give all the glory to God and also our governor that God has used as an instrument to achieve this. So it's not easy. I've been at the Civil Service Commission. So for him to renominate me shows that he has me at his back.
I'm not the most qualified for this position, but finding me worthy to work in his administration, I am very happy, and I also promise to discharge my work and my duties without fear or favor.
The Speaker, however, directed the House Clerk to officially communicate the Governor on their confirmation for further actions. In Abakaliki, Samuel Okpo, NTA News.
The Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASAN, Kano State Chapter, has commended the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, Jibril Ismail Falgore, for addressing their long-standing demands for improved remuneration. The association says the Speaker's intervention has aligned their welfare packages with those enjoyed by parliamentary staff in other states across the country. Samira Hamisu Shira reports.
Here's a picture of a typical working day at the Kano State House of Assembly. As staff
hurried to their duty posts and prepared to carry out their primary responsibilities during plenary sittings and other legislative engagements. Their arrival caught the Speaker by surprise as he commenced the routine procession into the hallowed chamber. The parliamentary staff, this day was far from ordinary. It was a dream come true. Their faces reflected pride and relief as they affirmed their commitment to discharging their duties with renewed vigor and dedication. In his remarks, Speaker Jibril Ismail Felgore said the gesture was necessary given their role as the engine room of any democratic dispensation, and announced a detailed capacity building plan for 2026 aimed at strengthening service delivery across legislative departments. The Parliamentary Workers Association of Nigeria, Kano State House of Assembly chapter boasts a staff strength of nearly 300 personnel, all of whom now look forward to more supportive working conditions and opportunities for professional growth. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu, NTA News.
And that concludes the news on NTA Parliament. You can follow us on our social media handles displayed on your screen. I am Stella Inameti. Thanks for watching.